I wanted to do something on the school shootings, all these mass shootings that have been taking place all over the place. And you hear everybody crying and pushing the president and complaining and pushing the president some more and pushing everybody else to do something about it. Gun control, got to have better background checks, got to do this, got to do that. Well, this video is on something that most people don't want to hear, and that is the truth. And I'm telling you this as a person who has lived in bad neighborhoods my entire life and am very streetwise because of it. I come from the streets. I know what goes on. So you people in your comfortable, nice homes who have never been on the streets or have lived in bad areas and are not privy to the information that I have, this might shock you. This will be something you probably don't know anything about. Now, there's nothing that can be done to stop shootings, school shootings, mass shootings. I'm sorry to tell you the truth, people. Nothing can be done about it. Now, my experience as coming from the streets, living in bad areas, is this. If you have the money, I could go to any inner city. You take me to any city. And if I have the right amount of cash on me, walk around and just ask people for a specific thing, within an hour I'm pointed in the right direction. Whether it's sex, drugs, or guns. Any kind of guns I want, any kind of ammunition I want, anything you want, period, can be found on the streets of our inner cities, every city. Even in small towns, all you have to do is walk around the streets, and approach people, let them know, what you're looking for. Eventually, you'll be pointed in the right direction. That's all you have to do. Guns are all over the streets, people. They're as accessible as drugs. Give me $100 bill and I go walk around the city streets, and eventually, after asking enough people, guaranteed within 1 hour, usually less, I can be pointed in the right direction on where to get any drug of my choice. I've done it myself. When I was in a bad position and roaming the streets, I learned what was out there. I learned how the streets operate. I know what goes on there in the cities. And I've come from bad neighborhoods. Not always lived in a bad neighborhood my whole life, but you get the point. I know what goes on in the inner cities. So if you people listening to this are in your comfort zone, you've never had it bad, you're in a nice home, you don't know what the world goes on out there in the inner cities, on the streets, just what's accessible. Or maybe you do and you just deny it, I don't know. You can get anything you want on the streets. And again, guns and drugs, they're everywhere, all over the streets. So go ahead, crack down on gun control. You can have background checks that are so thorough that it boggles the mind. You can add alien technology into the background checks to make them so thorough, it's mind-boggling. It doesn't matter what you do, people, to the background checks. That's irrelevant. That's a joke. People who want to shoot other people laugh at your background checks. You know why? They get their guns on the damn streets, people. Wake up. They don't go to gun shops. Background checks do not affect criminals. Period. Wake up, people. It's time to wake up. Background checks are ineffective. The only people that background checks have ever affected are the honest people who don't have a criminal record, don't desire to, don't have the mentality to commit crime. They're just honest people wanting to buy guns to go hunting, target shooting, and they have no malicious intent whatsoever. All background checks do is they keep the honest people honest. And the stricter you tighten down on them, they make the honest people suffer. That's all they do. They make the honest, upstanding, law-abiding, gun-carrying citizens suffer. That's all the background checks have ever done, and that's all they ever will do. So it's time for you blind people out there who think, oh my God, we gotta do something about this crime. We have to do something about the shootings. We have to do something about the mass shooting, the school shooting. We gotta do something. It's time for you people to wake up to something called reality. It ain't gonna happen. You're not gonna stop crime. Crime has been going on since human beings have walked the face of this earth. And shootings have been taking place since guns were first invented. And they will continue to go on. And they will continue to get worse and worse and worse. Yes, you're going to have more school shootings. You're going to have more mass shootings. They're going to do nothing but increase. Why? The population is increasing. We're exploding on Earth in population. More people, more crime. And people are getting more and more wicked and evil in their thinking every day. It's not going to stop until there's no more people. So the only sure way to wipe out mass shootings, you have to drop an atom bomb on every living thing on the earth and get rid of people. When there's no more people, they'll stop. So back to what I was saying, you can have the most thorough background checks using alien technology from another planet to make them so thorough. It doesn't affect anybody but the honest people. It makes them suffer. The other people that have intentions on going out and doing horrible crimes, they just go to their dealer in the neighborhood. Hey man, I need this kind of a gun, and I want this much ammunition, and this kind of ammunition. I need this bulletproof vest. I need this. I need that. I need this. I need that. Whatever they need, they buy it on the streets. No check, no worry, and off he goes to commit his crime. They're all over the streets. They're saturated with guns and drugs and bombs. Anything you can name can be found all over the streets of the entire country. They're everywhere. Weapons are as common as finding somebody to point you in the right direction for a dime bag of weed. You can get them anywhere. Or you can steal a weapon off your parents, you know. Teenagers have done that. You can break into homes and steal somebody's weapon. You can steal any weapon. So they're all over the place. Hell, just steal one. So a lot of good a background check's gonna do. They ain't worth a shit. They don't stop anything except for honest people. They make them suffer. The criminals aren't suffering. They just steal one off their neighbors, steal one from Blow Joe down the street, steal their parents if they're a teenager living at home. A number of guns out there that are in the hands of people that they know, they can go steal them. Or they can just go buy one off the streets. If you got the cash, you ask enough people, within 1 hour you'll be pointed in the right direction, I guarantee you. Where you can buy any kind of weapon your mind can think of. There's videos all over the internet to tell you how to make this automatic, how to do this, that, and the other, make this gun more dangerous, make that gun more dangerous, shoot faster. Shoot, you cannot stop it. We are saturated with this crap. And it's a shame that these people think these background checks are going to do anything. They can check all they want. The whole time they're checking, the criminal's out buying a gun from his dealer down the street with no check. Buys the ammunition, then goes off and, does his thing somewhere. They're readily available. And another way the background checks are a joke is anybody in their right mind who seems like a normal person, doesn't have a criminal record, can go and buy a gun, and the most thorough background check in the world ain't going to stop him because he has no record. If you have a record, no flags will come up. And let's say 2 years down the road, for some reason, he falls into a big depression because he loses his wife, loses his job, all of a sudden he flips out. Well, now he has a legal weapon that he bought legally. Now he goes out and starts a freaking shooting rampage. Hey, he bought it legally. Anybody who bought it legally can flip out at any time down the road in their life, and then they have a legal gun that they bought legally, and they go and flip out somewhere shooting people. A lot of good the background checks did. That's stupid. Let me tell you something. Criminals that have plans on doing things, they don't go to gun shops, people. Use your head. Hello, is anybody home in the United States of America at all? Anybody home? They don't go to gun shops. They go to their dealers on the streets, and they get the machine guns, anything they need. You can outlaw any gun you want to in a gun shop. They'll just go to their damn dealer and get it. Anything they want is on the streets in any inner city, any of them. Shoot, they got gun runners bringing in crap right and left all over the country. The same as drugs are being brought in all over the country. I know people don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear that there's nothing that they can do. Absolutely nothing. But the truth is, there is nothing you can do. The background checks, once again, to be repetitive, got to get the point across, do nothing but make honest people suffer. That's all it does. It stops nothing. It stops no crime. No background check has ever stopped anything. If a person wants to commit a crime bad enough, if they don't allow him to purchase the weapon, he'll stay fine. He'll just leave and go buy it from a dealer down the street. Or he'll steal one from somebody. Or he'll say, oh, hey, my parents got one. I know where it's at. And he'll get that. If he can't get into their safe, if it's locked up, he'll get a gun somewhere else. They're all over the place. They're accessible everywhere. You can get guns everywhere with no background check. No questions asked. Pay the money, get the gun, get the ammo, walk off. No one knows anything, hears anything, sees anything. They don't want to get involved. They just want your money. You got the money, they got the time, and they'll give you whatever you want. Machine guns, got it. You want it, got the cash? Good, here it is. You ain't stopping it. It's only going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And nobody needs a background check to get anything. They're all over the place. You don't got to go to a store to buy a gun. For some reason, these news anchors that report this crap on TV and CNN, oh, there's got to be something we can do, got to be something we can do, background checks, got to do this, tougher gun laws. Yeah, like criminals obey the laws. Tougher gun laws. That ain't going to stop a criminal. Speeding's been against the law since vehicles have been invented. Has that ever stopped people from speeding? Yeah, right. Like people obey the damn laws. Oh, bullshit. Like a law is going to stop somebody from doing something. Well, that's against the law, can't do it. So is speeding, yet everybody's doing it. So is running a stop sign, yet everybody does it. So is running red lights and everything else, and people do them every day on a daily basis. Yet they're all against the law. Gun laws don't stop anybody. Criminals laugh at gun laws because they have no respect for the law. Gun laws. Bullshit. Hell, they just go out and buy a gun and do whatever the hell they want to do. Screw the damn law. They don't care. They go to prison, oh well, they've probably been there before. Don't bother them none. Jeez. Gun laws don't do any good. Background checks don't do any good. They just make the innocent people suffer. Nothing is going to do any good. Nothing. Except if you get rid of people. That's it. No more people on the planet. After a nuclear war, no more shootings. Problem solved. Short of that, you ain't gonna do nothing. Why is the problem getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse? Because this nation was founded on God. It was founded on Christian principles. The schools had prayer. The schools had the Bible. The schools acknowledged God. The schools had the 10 Commandments put up. In the courtrooms, they had the 10 Commandments. We were a Christian nation founded on God, of the Bible, on Christian beliefs and principles. Our forefathers were adamant in biblical beliefs and Christianity and the Creator of all. What has taken place since? Atheism has moved in and has taken over and stricken God from our schools. Now all the morals that the Bible pushed in our schools are gone. The 10 Commandments from the schools are gone. The prayers are gone. The kids are taught in science class are nothing but evolved animals. They're an accident. Things just came out of nowhere for no reason at all and got in position and formed the solar system for no freaking reason at all by themselves. Life created itself and they're just an accident. God doesn't exist, they're taught. Evolution is a fact. They're just an accident. They evolved, just a genetic mistake of nature. So they have no moral foundation from the start. I mean, if you're just an evolved thing, no God out there, nothing created, everything's just an accident, then there's no moral absolutes. Just, do whatever you want, man. Do whatever feels good. So all of this has been taken out of the schools, and ever since prayer and the Bible and God, all of that's been removed from the schools decades ago. The schools have done nothing but gotten worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And society has pushed God out further and further and further. Don't want to hear it. Don't want to talk about it. Don't want to think about it. Don't want to know it. Don't tell me about it. When you keep pushing God out of a country, that country is going to plunge into darkness. And the more they have pushed God out of society and out of our schools, out of the minds of our kids, and started teaching them they were nothing but freaking accidents of nature, evolved animals, schools have done nothing but gotten worse and worse and worse and more violent until shootings started happening. Then the shootings increased and increased and increased until now we got chaos. And now parents have to teach their kids how to remain safe in case of school shootings. Now we're spending extra millions of dollars to design a school. I saw on the news this morning to especially design a school in case of a school shooting. When I went to school and when my parents went to school and on backwards, you never heard, not one single time, of a school shooting. Never heard of it. Never known about it. It wasn't a thing. Nobody knew nothing about such a thing. Nothing. We had God in the schools, morals in the schools from biblical principles, from the scriptures. We had prayer, the Bible, you name it, the 10 Commandments. We had a moral foundation in our Creator, one nation under God. Now, atheists have done away with all that crap, and they won't stop until they have God completely removed. They even want the phrase, "in God we trust," off of the money, for God's sakes. What does God say in the Bible? He says in Psalms, quote, "I will turn all nations into hell that forget about me," close quote. You push God out of the picture and keep on pushing him out and pushing him out and separating him, like separation of church and state. Don't want to know about God. Don't want to hear it. Don't preach to me. Don't bring the Bible to school. Nope, you can't. Nope, you can't quote the Bible. I don't want to hear about God. Keep pushing him out of society, pushing him out of our schools, pushing him away from our kids. Guess what's going to happen? God just told you. that nation is going to be turned into hell. Not overnight, little by little. And ever since they pushed them out of the schools in the 70s, I think it was, I'm not sure exactly, it's been too long ago, but ever since then, it's been gradually but steadily, again, it's not overnight, but it's been gradually and steadily getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And it's going to continue to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So, to wrap everything up and close this video, number one, sorry to break the truth to all you people, but there's nothing that we can do about school shootings, about mass shootings in our public areas outside of the schools, about shootings, period. Nothing you can do. Background checks make innocent people suffer. Gun laws are a joke. The criminals laugh at them. Guns are available on the streets everywhere. Everywhere. You can steal one from somebody you know who has one, or go buy one from a dealer downtown somewhere. They're everywhere. Everywhere. No check. Just give the money, get the gun and the ammunition, and walk off. Done deal. So nothing we can do about it. And number two, the cause of all this in the first place was pushing God away from our kids and out of our schools and pushing them out of society more and more and more. So you can think atheistic thinking for that one. Thank your local atheist. It's their worldview that has caused our nation to plunge into chaos. And it will continue to plunge into chaos. So, sorry for the bad news. But, reality is what it is.